So in the previous lecture we have seen the names of monosubstituted benzenes. Now we will be seeing at the names of disubstituted benzene. Means on the benzene ring you have to remove 2 hydrogens and take 2 substituents, right? Out of 6 hydrogens you have to remove 2 hydrogens and add 2 substituents. Suppose I have added first substituent here and second substituent here. What is the position of A and B? They are side by side to each other. Whenever 2 substituents are present side by side to each other in a disubstituted benzene, it is called as ortho substitution or ortho substituted, or you can also call them as 1 2 3 4, or you can also call them as 1 comma 2 disubstituted benzene, because they are present on side by side carbon. But instead of first and second position, if I take the 2 groups on first and third position, what would be its name? It is called as meta substituted. Meta substituted benzene, or you can also call them as 1 comma 3 disubstituted benzene. And instead of that, if you take 2 groups exactly opposite to each other, it is called as para substituted benzenes, or you can also call them as 1 comma 4 disubstituted benzene, right? Ortho substitution should always be side by side to each other, whether it is 1 2 this side or 1 2 this side, whether it is 2 3 this side or 3 4 this side or 4 5 or 5 6, whatever it is, they should be side by side to each other. Any numbering, as why we are giving numbering as 1 comma 2, because least number should always be preferred. That's why we are calling it as 1 comma 2. You should not call them as 2 comma 3 or 3 comma 4 or 4 comma 5 or 5 comma 6 or 6 comma 1, because that is not the least number. Same way for meta means whenever the 2 groups are present in such a way that there is a carbon in between, that substitution is called as meta substitution. And you should not call meta substitution as 1 comma 2 3 4 5. 1 comma 5 you should not call, 2 comma 4 you should not call, 4 comma 6 you should not call, because you should always give the least number. Therefore 1 comma 3 only is the correct numbering for meta substitution. If you give other numbering, even they are also meta to each other only. Which other position is meta to each other? 6 and 2 are meta to each other, 2 and 4 are meta to each other, 4 and 6 are also meta to each other. Same way 3 and 5 are meta to each other, 5 and 1 is also meta to each other. All of them are meta substitution only, but you should always use 1 comma 3 because that is the least possible number. Going to the next substitution, for para substitution you should take 1 comma 4 only, because that is the least number, but that doesn't mean other positions are not para. Even 2 comma 5 is also para, 3 comma 6 is also para, but you should prefer 1 comma 4 only as the para position, because that is the least number. Okay. Now what we will see is we will add functional groups. Just for the example, we have taken one functional group as A, other functional group as B. But if some functional groups are taken, what would be its name? Let us start. This is a benzene ring on which I am taking 2 same substituents. What is the name of this ring or this compound? Is 1 comma 2 dibromo benzene is the actual name. What is the common name? Orthobenzene. That's it. If you write orthobromobenzene. If you write orthobromo, it automatically means that two bromines are present and they are side by side. When you are writing orthobromo, no need to mention first position, second position, just say orthobromo. If you are not using the terms ortho, meta, para, then only you have to give the correct numbering, which is 1, 2 dibromo. How many are present? It's important to mention, right? Same way, if I take that two bromines meta to each other, its name changes to 1, 3 dibromo benzene, or it can be called as meta bromo benzene. If you write meta, it automatically means that two bromines are present and that two bromines are meta to each other. Same way for para, its name actually is 1, 4 dibromobenzene, or you can also call it as parabromobenzene. If you write para, it automatically means that two bromines are present and they are para to each other. This is the case where I have taken A substituent two times. But now here I have shown A is one substituent, B is another substituent. Let us do so. Because you can have same or different. Whatever is the case, this is a disubstituted benzene, this is also a disubstituted, this is also a disubstituted. I will take one more compound with same substituents, nitro. What is the name of this compound? 1, 2 dinitrobenzene. If it is meta, 1, 3 dinitrobenzene. If it is para, 1, 4 dinitrobenzene. What is the general name of 1, 2 dinitro? Orthonitrobenzene. Meta means 1, 3 means metanitrobenzene. 1, 4 means paranitrobenzene. Same way, now I will combine both. What is the name of these compounds? What is the name of this compound? Its name is benzene. Then who should be preferred? Nitro group is preferred or bromo group should be preferred? Alphabetical order you should follow. Nitro starts from N, bromo starts from B. So what you should say? 1 bromo, 2 nitro benzene. Okay? Or meta bromo nitrobenzene. Sorry, ortho bromo nitrobenzene. Same way, 1 bromo, 3 nitro benzene. Or you can call it as meta bromo nitrobenzene. Same way, 1 bromo 4 nitrobenzene or 1 bromo para bromo nitrobenzene. I will write the general names. Ortho bromo nitrobenzene, meta bromo nitrobenzene, para bromo nitrobenzene. Right? Ortho bromo nitrobenzene means bromo and nitro are ortho to each other. Meta bromo nitrobenzene means bromo and nitro are meta to each other. Para bromo nitrobenzene means bromo and nitro are para to each other. Now what I will do is some important functional groups I will keep. These are less important because in the beginning only I told chloro, bromo, iodo, nitro, methyl, ethyl, propyl, all that will always be least important groups, right? But if important functional groups like these are present, who is more important here? This compound is more important. What is the name of this compound? Benzoic acid. On the benzoic acid, bromine is present, you should say. So if bromine is coming on the benzoic acid, what should be the name? Where is bromine coming? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2-bromobenzoic acid should be the name, or orthobromobenzoic acid. Don't write orthobromo carboxylic acid benzene. No. Whenever carboxylic acid is present on the benzene ring, its name should be benzoic acid. On that benzoic acid, whoever comes, its name should be written before. Same way, what is the name of this compound? This is important for us. So, this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Where is bromine present? At third position. So, what you should write? 3-bromobenzoic acid. Same way, its name commonly can be called as, where is bromine present? Meta to carboxylic acid. So, you can say metabromobenzoic acid. The other ones, this is more important for us, on which bromine group is present. Where is bromine group present? If this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-bromobenzoic acid is the actual name, and general name is parabromobenzoic acid. Same way, along with benzoic acid, if I take methyl group, what will be the name of this compound? 2-methyl benzoic acid, or 3-methyl benzoic acid, or 4-methyl benzoic acid. Orthomethyl benzoic acid, metamethyl benzoic acid, or paramethyl benzoic acid. Same way, if I take nitro group, orthonitrobenzoic acid, metanitrobenzoic acid, paranitrobenzoic acid. Even if I take amino group also, it is less important than carboxylic acid. You know that from the previous series. So, 2-amino benzoic acid, 3-amino benzoic acid, 4-amino benzoic acid, or orthoamino benzoic acid, meta-amino benzoic acid, para-amino benzoic acid. Whatever groups you are taking, you should be able to assign the priority correctly to that functional group. Then only your name will be coming correct. Otherwise, you will get the wrong name. Okay. Now we are done with nomenclature of organic compounds. The next topic to which we are going to go is isomerism in organic compounds. Isomerism may be a new word for you, but it's not that difficult. Okay. Isomerism condition arises whenever you have two compounds. Call them as compound A and compound B. When you have two compounds, you find out the molecular formula of two compounds. You find out the structure of two compounds, and you find out the properties of two compounds. Okay, you find out the molecular formula first. What is the molecular formula of compound A? What is the molecular formula of compound B? After getting the molecular formula, you check the structure of compound A and check the structure of compound B. After getting the structure, you check the properties of compound A, check the properties of compound B, right? After finding out these things, you will come to a conclusion that molecular formula of these two compounds are exactly the same. If it has 5 carbon, even this has 5 carbon. If it has 10 hydrogens, even this has 10 hydrogens. If it has 1 oxygen, even this has 1 oxygen. What does that mean? Molecular formula of compound A and B are exactly the same. Structure, even though their molecular formula is the same, but you got different structure. Even though the molecular formula is the same and structure is the same, you got different properties. Anything can be possible. But whether the structure is coming different or the properties are coming different, but every time molecular formula will be the same for these two compounds which you have chosen. Okay, When that happens, compound A is called as isomer of B and compound B is called as isomer of A, right? Because they are having same molecular formula but different structure, or same molecular formula but different properties with the same structure. Okay, so they are called as isomers. Now I will define isomers in this way. If two organic compounds are having the same molecular formula but different structure, those are called as isomers of one another, and the phenomena or the condition is called as isomerism. Okay, that isomerism is divided into two types. First is structural isomerism and the other is stereoisomerism. Right? Whatever may be the type of isomerism I write, you just remember wherever I write the name isomerism, it automatically means that molecular formula is same. Okay? Before isomerism, what is there? Structural is there. Before isomerism, what is there? Stereo is there, right? So now based on this new terms, I will change the definition of isomerism, but in that definition, what should definitely be there is molecular formula should be same. Molecular formula is same, right? So now I will define these two different types of isomerisms in this way. Okay, and whenever you define any isomerism, you should give examples too. You cannot tell by giving one example that it is a structural isomerism. It's just like saying he is the son of. Incomplete statement. Can you tell the statement as he is the son of and end your statement? No. Whenever you say son, you should also say of whom. Same way if you say daughter of whom. Simply son or daughter is incomplete. Same way you cannot tell that compound A is isomer. Of whom isomer? Same way compound B is isomer to whom? Right? So for every isomerism, you should always give minimum 2 examples. You can give even more than that, but 2 examples are must to show the relationship between those two, and then say which isomerism is present in both of them. Okay, so everywhere I will be writing at least 2 examples to show the type of isomerism, right? So let me start isomerism by defining what structural isomerism is, because definition of isomerism I already gave, which is if 2 compounds are having the same molecular formula but different structure or different properties, the compounds are called as isomers and the condition is called as isomerism. Now let us come to structural isomerism. What is the definition of structural isomerism? When 2 compounds have same molecular formula this way you have to write. What I have underlined should be same and what I have circled should be different. Now when I ask you the definition, you should be able to say the definition just by looking at these things. This is same, this is different. Right? Let us now define isomerism. When 2 compounds are having same molecular formula but different structure, they are called as structural isomers. Next definition, when 2 compounds are having same molecular formula but different orientation, which means orientation means when the structure is same but the group in compound A the chlorine is present upwards and in compound B the chlorine may be present downwards. In compound A alcohol may be present left side, in compound B alcohol may be present right side. In which direction it is pointing is called as orientation of the groups, right? So if orientation is different but everything else is the same, such compounds are called as stereoisomers. You should not say two compounds having same molecular formula but different stereo, because stereo means orientation. So your definition should have orientation is different in it. Okay. So now coming to the structural isomerism, I will not take an example of these two because structural isomerism has many types and even stereo also has its types, right? Let us look at the possible types of structural isomerism. First type of structural isomerism is chain isomerism. And in this also, this is circled, this is underlined. Second type of isomerism is functional group isomerism. This is circled, this is underlined, and that is circled. Same way, there is another type of isomerism under structural only, which is position isomerism. This is underlined and this is circled. One more type is metamerism. You cannot underline or circle here because it is a little bit different from its definition, right? Same way, stereoisomerism is also divided into two types. One is optical isomerism and other is geometrical isomerism. Coming to stereoisomerism, the types are optical isomerism and geometrical isomerism. Now we will look into each and every type of structural isomerism, and after looking at the definition, we will understand why this is a type of structural isomerism, because in this isomerism also molecular formula remains to be same but structure is becoming different because of this reason. In the second type also molecular formula remains to be same and functional group is becoming different, therefore it is also a type of structural isomerism. Because of this reason structure is becoming different, because of this reason structure is becoming different, and because of this reason structure is becoming different. Therefore all these four are giving you different structures. Therefore all these four are types of structural isomerism only. Let us look at the chain isomerism first, and as I already told, for each isomerism I will be taking two examples so that it will be easy for us to compare, right? I will take compound A and compound B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the name of this compound? 5 carbons are present, that means it is hexane. Bond line structure, if bond line structure is not clear, I will take normal carbon-carbon bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. CH3, CH2, 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 CH3, right? This compound name is hexane. Sorry, pentane. 5 carbon means pentane. And it is compound A. Now I will write compound B, in which total carbons are 5 only. How many carbons are present total? 5 only. But in the longest carbon chain there are only 4 carbons, and the extra 5th carbon is getting added as a substituent or a branch. Therefore the name of this compound is not pentane, rather it is butane. Which butane is it? It is 2-methyl butane. In this compound the length of the chain is 5 carbons, and in this compound the length of the chain is only 4 carbons, but the molecular formula of both the compound is same, but structure is becoming different because length of the chain is becoming different, right? Such isomers are called as chain isomers, and the condition is called as chain isomerism. Now I will define the chain isomerism again, which is when two compounds are having same molecular formula but different chain length. Different chain length is present in compound A and compound B. Which chain length? Parent chain is different in compound A and compound B, right? In this the parent chain is of 5 carbons, in this the parent chain is of only 4 carbons. That is chain isomerism. I can also take what is the name of this compound? Select the longest carbon chain. How many carbons are present in the longest carbon chain? Propane. 3 carbon means propane. On that longest carbon chain, there are 2 methyls. 2, 2 dimethyl propane. All these 3 are chain isomers for which molecular formula? C5H12. All the 3 are having a molecular formula of C5 and H12 only. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. 3 plus 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 9. Only 1. 3 plus 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Same way 3 plus 3, 6, 3 plus 3, 6, total 12. So, molecular formula in all the 3 are C5H12. In the exam, you may be asked to draw all the structural formulas of this molecular formula. So, what you have to do is with this molecular formula, start decreasing the chain length, you will get 3. More than that, you cannot get ethane for C5, right? For C5, getting 2 carbons in the long chain is not possible, minimum will be 3, right? But for if the molecular formula is C6H14, C6H14, you can get hexane, or you can get 2 methyl, 3 methyl, anything, pentane, or dimethyl butane, or trimethyl propane, right? If you increase the number of carbons, the number of chain isomers will be increasing. If less carbons are present in the molecular formula, chain length will not be changed that much. If more carbons are there, you can get more structural isomers, right? This is chain isomerism. Now we will go to the next isomerism, which is functional group isomerism, and the definition itself says that molecular formula will be same but functional group will be different. For the same molecular formula, the functional group is becoming different. That's why the structure is also becoming different. To show functional group isomers, I will take the help of functional groups like aldehyde and ketone. How many carbons are present in the root word here? Root word has 3 carbons, right? And root word has 3 carbons. 3 carbon means prop, 3 carbon means prop, right? What is the functional group present in this compound? Ketone. What is the functional group present in this compound? Is aldehyde, right? Molecular formula is same or not? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hydrogens 3 plus 3, 6, oxygen 1. 3, 2, 1, 6, oxygen 1. Molecular formula is the same, length of the chain is also same, but the only difference is functional group is propanone. Where is propanone? Propa2-one. Same way here the functional group is not propanone, instead it is propanal, because aldehyde is present as the functional group. The name of this isomer is propanone, the name of this isomer is propanal. Molecular formula is same in both the case, but the only difference is functional groups. Now I will take another compound. What is the name of this compound? How many carbons are present in the parent chain? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 means butane. What is the functional group here? Alcohol. For alcohol, what should be the name? Butanol. Here, how many carbons are present total? 2 plus 2 here. Total is 4. But what is the functional group here? Is ether. If ether is the functional group, its name should not be buta, because 4 are not side by side, oxygen is coming in between. What is the name of ether? Ethyl, ethyl. Ethyl on one side, ethyl on another side. So the name becomes diethyl ether. What is the molecular formula? 4 carbons here, 4 carbons here. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hydrogens here and 3, 2, 3, 2. 10 hydrogens there. So both of them have same molecular formula, but functional group is becoming different. In the first compound, the functional group is alcohol. In the second compound, the functional group is ether. So both of them are functional group isomers. In the next class, we will look into the remaining structural isomers and stereoisomerism.